10 reps. So I try my best and I muster up whatever energy I have, and I'm only able to do 6 reps. But the program I designed for you specifies that you must do at least 10 repetitions. So your set isn't over, all right? You have 4 more to do. So you do 6, you do a little rest pause, you take a break, 30 seconds, a minute, not too long, and then you do the 4 that remain, and it's considered a successful set, right? And then you could build on that later. That's called the elephant rule. Why is it called the elephant rule? Simple. Well, you know, I've mentioned this to a lot of people, and nobody has ever heard the old story of, or the old riddle where someone comes up to you and says, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer to that is simple. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So the same logic applies here. This is your elephant. You have 10 reps to do, all right? It's a 395-pound elephant. You're going to do your first bite of 6, right? Then you're going to take a rest. Then you're going to do another bite of 4. And ultimately, you've achieved your volume. You've followed the standard of the program, and you can work from there to improve upon that later. That is what the elephant rule is about. It allows you to perform a set at high intensity without overshooting it, without making a dumb decision where you're going to try to do a deadlift with poor form. You must always practice perfect form. Perfect practice makes perfect, okay? It's not practice makes perfect, it's perfect practice makes perfect. So the elephant rule is there to catch you or to save you. It allows you to progress further without doing any stupid reps, I guess you could say. So now, if I've done 6 and 4, 395, I don't have permission, I guess you could say, to increase the weight further. I must remain at 395 here in my deadlift, and I must try to improve or increase my my rep performance in the next set. And you will be able to increase your rep performance, all things being equal. You're eating properly, you're resting well. So let's say the next set, you get 8 and 2. All right, you still ate the elephant in 2 bites, and then the next set, okay, 395. Okay, you managed to do 10 this time. All right. This works because of a physiological effect called post-tetanic potentiation. I'll explain in another video. But basically, that's how that works. So now I'm at 395. I did 10. I still have 3 sets left to go. Now I'm going to jump to, let's do just a 10-pound jump, because if I struggled so much, it would only make sense to do a smaller jump this time. So 405. And now I'm going to repeat that whole process again. But this time, I'm only able to do 3. I'm exhausted, I'm tired. I managed to do 3 reps. I'm not going to give up though. I'm going to keep pushing. You have a program to complete, right? So you do 3, you rest, and then you manage to do another 3. All right? Then you rest again, and then you do another 3. That's 9. All right? So 2 things here. You're not allowed to eat the elephant in more than 3 bites. So I did 3 bites over here. I can't do a 4th one, because that's just kind of making the whole thing ridiculous. You're changing the program too much at that point. So maximum 3 bites. I didn't reach 10 repetitions as my total, which means my body's burnt out, I'm dead, which means you save this for next time. All right, so that's the Southeast rule, the elephant rule. So going east now, okay, so that's 1 session, that's 1 day, all right? Going east this way, all right, I'd probably get another 10 here, another 10 here. So last time I failed at 395. When I reattempt 395 over here, 8 days later, it's very likely I'll be able to get it, all right? That is the human body. It will adapt to what you've done 8 days ago. Hence, I guess you could say the logic behind all of this. This is a great way to progress yourself quickly. So you do 395, then you get to, let's say, 415. And the process happens all over again. This time 5 and 5. You do 415 again. And this time you get 8 and 2, and then you do 10 over here for 415, so on and so forth. Next would be 425, right? And it happens again. This time you get 4, 3, and 3, right? And then you repeat that process, 425, and this continues on week after week after week. This is the kind of thing that's based off of an 8-day cycle, not your classic calendar 7-day cycle. It's based off of 8 days, and this will repeat every 8 days or every 12 days. And what will happen is, you know, you go a few sessions down the line, you're starting your deadlifts off with, you know, 405 pounds. And you're like, holy shit, I'm strong. Like my first work set is 405 pounds. You know, I'm kicking ass. that's the idea behind it. You started off here, and you slowly progress there. Slowly as in, a couple of months. The whole principle here is Kaizen, which is a Japanese term which means slow incremental gains over time. So we're only doing small calculated gains every time, giving yourself enough rest to almost guarantee that you will reach those performance increases. And what will happen over time is within 6 months, at least with my typical male client, they'll be deadlifting and squatting over 500 pounds within about 6 months, depending on where they're coming from, moderately athletic, mid-range. For women, we're talking about approaching 315 pounds in the deadlift, squatting well over 2 plates. Again, it depends on size and background. But anyway, that's the idea behind my 2 rules, the Southeast rule and the elephant rule. This is how you should increase your weights in the gym. In order for this to work, you actually have to write your shit down, and you actually have to have a piece of paper to remember what you did weeks ago. So that's the only way it'll work, and hopefully this was useful to you. Take care.